second I laid eyes on you, I believe it was fate. Meeting you was written in the stars. Yeah, real.
Girl, you be my one, you be my only.
Trust.
Promise that I'll never leave you lonely.
Never.
Said you be my lover and my homie. So I'ma keep it real with you always.
Said I'ma be there whenever you need me. Anything you want, I'll get it, call me GD. Knew you were the one when you said you would ride for our brother, no matter the weather, and you never leave me. Baby, let us fly away without no delay. So when the sun be shining, we can take it easy. Just me and you and some incredible scenery. Yeah. In the night, speaking love, I know you feel me. In the night, when making love, I know you feel me. The thought of being without you, baby, it kills me. You're what I've been looking for, I'm giving you the room, just say the word and baby, by your side I want it. I was feeling empty, but now you feel me.
Alright, how about now? Hey, yay, sorry about that, guys. Wow, you guys haven't been able to hear me for a few minutes now. This is what happens when I ignore chat. Oh, Lord. I'm so sorry, guys. So, hello again. I just went through an entire spiel and no one heard any of it. So this is what happens. Wow. Oh, Lord. I'm going to wait and check chat to make sure you guys can hear me now. Yes, now you can hear me. Okay, good. Woo, yay, thank you. So sorry. This is what happens when I ignore chat for a few minutes. So let me start all over again then, because nobody heard anything that I was talking about. So good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you new around here, my name is Danny, and I am so not an expert. Today is a sunny and humid Sunday morning here in northern Illinois. I'm in a southwest suburb of Chicago, and I was just telling you guys, but obviously nobody heard it, today has been a hell in a handbasket kind of day. And of course, no sound, and that just totally adds to the day. Like I said this morning, it started out this morning with breakfast. I almost forgot to add an ingredient to the breakfast that I made for Mr. Wizard and myself. And then I had some timing issues with YouTube and now audio issues. It's just fun. Sorry, give me a second here. I am like laughing so fun because this is so funny. This is the omen for the day. I swear to God. Today is gonna be a hell of a day. Oh Lord. Okay, so I'm just telling everybody about the weather. We have had some horrible, horrendous storms the last few days here in northern Illinois. We actually had 11 confirmed tornadoes touch down in the last 4 days, which has just been completely crazy. One of those tornadoes actually touched down a mile from my house. I point this direction because that's the direction it was at. It was about a mile from my house, which was freaky. I hate weather storms. I love to watch them, but I hate being in them because that's the one thing that in life that you just cannot control. I mean, there's a lot of things in life that you really can't control, but weather is definitely one of them. And so it always gives me a lot of anxiety when there's bad weather. So tornadoes freak me out. Heavy rainstorms really freak me out. They give me a lot of anxiety. So I'm still laughing about there being no audio because that's just totally the omen for today. Yes, Dawn, absolutely hell in a handbasket. That is my day today. And that's why I cannot stop laughing because it just doesn't stop. It's just been going nonstop since this morning. So I probably should not have gotten out of bed this morning. I can only imagine what the rest of the day is going to bring. Who knows, I might have to keep you guys updated on Facebook. For just a reminder, speaking of Facebook, for those of you who are not already, please go over and join us on Facebook. I'll be sharing a lot of funny stories today, I'm sure. We share a lot of projects and things like that on the channel as well. So today, hopefully, we're going to get to the Tropics project. You know, at this rate, who knows anymore, because I've just given up on the day. June says, I'm so glad you're okay. Well, thank you, June. I'm glad I'm okay. I'm glad no one anywhere got hurt. It was mainly just, it was an EF0 tornado that had hit down, so it was only about 80 mile per hour winds, which were still very fast winds. But the good news is it touched down on our main road, so there wasn't really any damage to any homes or anything in the area, just a lot of, debris, tree limbs, things like that. There was a tree that fell down in another town further over from us, but that didn't have anything to do with the tornado. So, good news, no one has been hurt. Weather has been crazy as all get up, but that's why it's really hot and humid today because of this weird front that's been coming through. So I'm staying indoors today, stayed indoors yesterday as well. I have asthma, so the hot heat really makes it hard for me to breathe sometimes. So I start to stay indoors when it gets too hot and humid. So anyway, I hope the weather is better by you guys. You guys haven't been affected by any of these crazy tornadoes. Nobody's been hurt. There's been no injuries, things like that. Again, I'll pop in a chat in just a second and say hello to everybody. But now at least everybody can hear me. Yeah, I'm taking the handbasket with a laughing attitude because, it's either you laugh or you cry. I mean, it's been one of those days. Okay, so before, the very first thing I was pointing out to you guys is up here in the corner, I decided to introduce something new into the channel. It's completely not quilting related, but I like to show off what Mr. Wizard has been doing lately. And so I've got a 3 of his new cars. Well, these aren't new, these are older ones. But see, I've got 3 of his cars up here. I'll introduce those in just a couple minutes. We'll go through those, see what those look like, show them off to you, because he's super talented, and I think it's really cool that he makes them. And so we'll have new ones every once in a while up here on the channel, but I actually have 3 of them. Like I said, my camera is off a little bit. I actually might get up and turn it just a hair here. The girls were both home this weekend. They had a concert to go to on Saturday, so they were both home this weekend, so the room's a little askew because Taylor wasn't here, so things were moved around just a little bit, but that's okay, not a big deal. I like for her to feel like home. Better laughing than crying. That's absolutely right. Yep, absolutely right. So I'm going to bring those down here in just a minute. Let me pop in a chat, say hello to you guys. You guys have been troopers hanging out with me through all this crazy crap that's been going on. So let me pop in there real quick, say hello to you. Then we're going to introduce those cars, and then we are going to get started with our Tropics project. So very first thing, I know Linda was the very first one in the channel, so good morning to you, Linda. I saw you pop in there real quick this morning. So hello, how are you? Thanks so much for joining us today. Kathy, I saw you, and of course Judy. Hi, good morning, Judy. Welcome to the channel. Hi, Chloe. So good to see you again. Hi, Chloe. Good to see you. Melina says good morning. Can't hear you. Yeah, honey, I figured that out. Good morning, Shirley. Hi. Yeah, no sound. Yep, got that one. Then I got Melina's yelling at me, Danny! Sorry, guys. So sorry. Oh, so funny. So funny. Hi, Dawn. Hello. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. Good morning to you. Yes. Oh my God. 11 tornadoes. Yeah, it was crazy. It was 11. There was 11 tornadoes. I say 4 days, but I actually think it was smaller than that. I think it was only between the 2-day period. But yeah, it was crazy. 2 of them hit close to home. One of them was a mile from home. The other one was a little bit further away. But the one that was a mile away was pretty scary. And then on top of that, I didn't mention this before, but there was actually a funnel cloud. Well, so those of you who don't know the difference, a funnel cloud just means it's swirling up in the air. It never actually touches the ground. A tornado actually touches the ground. They spotted a funnel cloud 3 blocks from my house. So that one was a little bit more scary. That one is actually closer to Lucas's house because Lucas lives about 2 blocks from us, and then another. Okay, so it was 4 blocks from my house. Lucas lives 2 blocks from my house, and then the funnel cloud was 2 more blocks. So he was even closer to the funnel cloud than I was. Luckily, him and his family were not home at the time. They were coming back from being on their vacation, so luckily there was nobody over there. It never hit the ground, so it didn't cause any damage. But yeah, that one was way too close for comfort. The mile away was still too close, but that one was at least much further out that I wouldn't have sustained any damage. But yeah, that one was really, really scary. Really, really scary. All right, Agnes, good morning. Hello, good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm so glad you're here again today. So good to see you. Hey, Naomi, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. She says she'll be lurking. She needs to get some stuff done before it gets too hot. Oh, no, absolutely. I totally understand. Dawn says it's storming by her. Hopefully she doesn't lose power. Well, Dawn, I hope so, too. Yes, I am laughing and not crying. That is for sure. So it has been a hell of a day. So let's see. It started out this morning when I tried to make breakfast. I forgot one of the ingredients. It wasn't a major ingredient, but it was still an ingredient. I almost forgot it. My husband had to remind me of it. So I almost forgot the ingredient. Then I came in here and I started moving things around and getting everything ready for the day. And I pulled out all my stuff because I always try to have things set up here. So I pulled everything out. Got it all set up nice and ready to go, and I decided to look at my schedule. I keep a schedule down here of what I'm doing. I looked down at the schedule and I realized that the project I had taken out was for next week. It was not for this week. So I had to put it all back away, take everything out again. So take it all out again, set it all up again. So I'm like, well, good thing I looked at the schedule or we'd have been really confused this morning. So that's how that started. Then I was trying to figure out why my iron wouldn't turn on. It turns out the stupid thing came unplugged and I didn't know it. So I thought I broke the iron. I was freaking out. So yeah, no, iron's good. There. Then I had the live stream set up and I couldn't get the timer to work. Then I decided to do an Instagram. So I did the Instagram. Well, that threw me off of my times. Then the timer was now off. Oh, it's just been... And then I had no audio. So it's been, a minute. I'm just laughing. It is so funny that things like this happen. And, you just kind of roll with it. You have to roll with it. Otherwise, like I said, you may start crying. So I prefer to laugh when I can. Okay, Dawn says, I think as a child, I was traumatized by how drills were handled at school. Hate this iron and it causes anxiety for me and many others. Dawn, that is a distinct possibility. For me, it's not so much the drills, it's just the lack of control. I am I know it may not seem like it, but I'm a very controlled kind of person. And so the lack of control and the lack of having anything to do with that type of weather situation and preventative and things like that, that's just kind of the anxiety that it gives me. The sirens aren't too big of a deal. It's more of just a safety thing for me, I think. But anyway, all right, so let me show you what these are, guys. So let me grab the furthest one back here so you guys can see this one, because you can't actually see this one on the camera. So I'm just going to be real gentle about it, because he'll get really mad at me. And I had him write down for me what they were, because I was afraid I wasn't going to remember on the camera. So this one is a 1972 Oldsmobile 442 W30. It is beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Oh. The hood comes off because he's got the engine in here. See? It's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So it's beautiful. Yeah, this one the doors don't open. Sometimes the doors open, sometimes they don't. And then he's got details on the bottom too. His pieces start falling off. But I have these all over my house. He has tons of them. So I thought, what better way to show them off than to bring them on the channel. So that is the 442. This is his favorite. So that's why I had him bring this one in. And then this one is one of my favorites because I just love this color. Isn't this just a gorgeous color? This is a Super B. I know that much. This one's a 1970 Dodge Super B. He's actually building a second one right now. Let's see if I can get this hood off without it falling. There we go. So this one is just gorgeous. And there's the engine again. Engine in pieces. Don't break the car, Danny. I know, right? I'm trying not to. There's the bottom there too. These are 1/25th scale. So they come in a box just full of pieces. And so he breaks all the pieces apart and glues everything together and then paints it. Puts details in it. You guys can't see the inside. But in the interior here, there's actually details on the inside, like the dashboard, the steering wheel is all painted and looks nice. I know you guys can't see that on the camera, but... And then this one is actually one of mine that he built for me. Most of you might recognize this one. This one is Grease Lightning from the movie Grease. This is the white version. There's a white and a red. I prefer the white version myself. Let me take that off again. But here is Grease Lightning. He actually has two of these. He built this one as Grease Lightning, and then he built another one as a cop car. This is a 1948 Ford. You can see on the inside. Oh, I hear something moving. It's moving. Oh, T-top here. See on the inside, it's got like a zebra print chairs, and then I don't know if you guys can see on the inside there, steering wheel, dashboard. It's got a little license plate on the front here. Really cool. Really, really cool. But yeah, this is what he's doing while we are talking about quilting. He is talking about cars. Well, not talking. He prefers it quiet. Does he paint with a magnifying glass? Sometimes, yes. Depends on what he's painting, but yes. He does have quite a few. He's got a really cool setup in the garage. But yeah, he does have a magnifying glass because some of those parts are super tiny. They're 1/25th scale, so they're super duper teeny tiny pieces. But yes, he does have a magnifying glass. He paints everything. Sometimes it used to be spray cans. Now he's into airbrushing. He's been doing a lot more airbrushing recently. So these are all older ones. These are all ones that he built a couple years ago. Like I said, I'll try to bring out a couple of them every time for different live streams so we can look at them. But yeah, he does a fantastic job, and so I wanted to showcase those a little bit for you, show them off a little bit. All right, so let's actually get to some sewing today. It's extremely detailed. Yes, very, very detailed for sure. Good morning, Kensha. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, how are you? So good to see you. Just making sure I didn't miss anybody that hopped into chat while I was showing off some pieces there. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I've been ironing up some pieces here this morning. We've got some pieces that we sewed up together the last time we were together, so I'm just ironing those up. And once we get those ironed up, then we can actually start sewing these blocks together. So we've got the blocks partially put together. The blocks consist of two types of miniature blocks, or sub blocks, I guess. So we have the sub blocks done. We just need to sew everything up together to make our block. But right now, I'm just kind of ironing everything flat so it's easier to sew. Kathy says, I'm building a 1967 Mustang right now. Oh, Kathy, that's exciting. I love Mustangs. They're one of my favorites. Right now, Mr. Wizard is working on, I know he's working on a Super Bee. He usually has 4 or 5 of them going at a time. I know he's working on a Super Bee. I know he's working on a Charger, a Dodge Charger for her daughter, because she's a huge Dodge Charger fan. I think it's a 2008 is what he's got. I'm not sure. He is finishing up. He just finished up. I'm not sure. I wish I knew more about him. He shows them to me all the time, and unfortunately I don't pay enough attention to know what they are, because like I said, my house is filled with them. But he doesn't just build cars. Cars are the main thing that he builds. Those are his passion. But he does build military vehicles as well. He's got a couple of Jeeps. I think he's got a couple of tanks too. And then he has done a couple of airplanes. They're not his favorite, but he's done them. And he also has one boat, the Titanic. He bought that kit for me, and he put that together. So we do have a Titanic in our living room. But yeah, mostly it's cars. We just have a ton of them. I have an entire, there's an entire wall in my living room that's dedicated to cars, from floor to ceiling. He bought a couple bookshelves, and he's got them sitting up there. So we've got a bunch of them, and then he's got a bunch in boxes. He likes to rotate them out. So we've got a shelf in the living room, then he puts them on, and he likes to rotate those out. Then there's a bunch on our entertainment center that he likes to rotate out. So yeah, he's really talented. Good morning, Terry. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. Oh, speaking of Sunday mornings, actually it would be a Saturday morning. So next Saturday, we're doing something fun over here on the channel. Well, it's not actually on our channel. We're doing something fun. We are going to be joining Sean of The Guy Who Sews. We're going to be joining him on his channel for a live stream. So I'm really excited about that. I've joined him a couple of times. He's a super sweet guy. Love hanging out with him. He's so much fun. He's originally from Australia, I believe. He's got a nice accent. It's fun to talk to him. He's a lot of fun. So if you haven't already, make sure you go sub over to his channel so that you can hang out with us Saturday morning. Do exclamation point Sean in chat. Unfortunately, Lucas isn't here, so if somebody wants to throw that up in there, that'd be great. It's SEAN. That'll give you a link to his channel, The Guy Who Sews. I'm going to be over there live streaming on his channel at 7 a.m. Central Time. Super early in the morning, but that's because he's on Eastern time schedule. So it's 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. But we have a lot of fun over there. So we're just going to be working on, just whips and UFOs. So I will probably pull out the rest of the butterfly block that we worked on last week. I'll probably finish that up because that one's pretty easy to work on while I'm chatting with him. So that'll be fun. I'm really excited about that. So make sure you go over and follow his channel. Thank you, Sandra, and good morning. Good morning, Sandra. Welcome to the channel. It's so good to see you, and thank you for throwing that link up there. Kathy says she's making the Titanic out of Legos. Oh boy, girl, how big is it going to be? Is it like, because I know the Titanic he built, it's like this big. He's like, where are we going to put this thing? I'm like, I have no idea. But it's like this big. It's huge. So I'm curious. I'd love to see pictures of your Lego one. You should post pictures on your Facebook page. I'd love to see it. I know it's not sewing related, but it could be a lot of fun. Because like I said, sewing is not our only hobbies. Just ironing up all these pieces here, laying them out. Yeah, that's Sean's channel. Yeah, so make sure you go over there, give him a follow, and then if you're able to hang out with us Saturday morning, next Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Central Time, we'll be hanging out over there. And then, of course, we're going to do our live stream on Sunday mornings here. Next week is UFOs and whips. And I have one, like I said, I had laid it all out, ready to work on today. I have one I've been working on kind of in the background. I really haven't been doing a lot of it on the channel. We did a little bit of cutting for it a while back. It's a bit of a mystery project because the person that it's going to be gifted to is actually a friend of mine, close friend of mine, who follows the channel, and so I don't want them to know what it is. This is one of those patterns where it's really obvious when I tell you what it is that they're going to know that it's for them. So that's why I really don't want to say too much about it. But we're going to be working on that next weekend. I've got some pieces I need to sew up, and I've got more pieces I need to cut. This thing takes 60 3/4 inch strips. Yeah, 60 3/4 inch black strips. It's like an outline kind of thing. So it's ow, ow, ow. I just hit my thigh bone. This is the omen for the day. I'm telling you, my God. So that's what. So there's a lot of pieces to this one. It's gonna be challenging for me. I've been a little bit intimidated by it the entire time I've had it, which is why it keeps sitting on the shelf, and I haven't really been doing a whole lot with it. Terry says she follows Sean. 8 a.m. on a Saturday. That's a challenge indeed. It definitely is. And you know what? If you guys can't make it live, that's okay. He does the same thing I do. He replays it. So if you guys want to check it out afterwards or whenever you guys can, that's totally fine too. It's totally up to you guys. But yeah, I'm excited to join him on his community. They have so much fun over there. He has so many fun guests over there. Alright, I'm just, like I said, just ironing up these pieces, laying them nice and flat so that they will go together nice. Now, I had starched all of these fabrics way back in the beginning when we first started this. I had starched them all. So every time you iron them, the starch kind of reactivates and makes everything nice and stiff, which really works out well for working through the fabrics. I prefer to starch my fabrics when I can. Depends on the type of fabric though. If it's a pre-cut, I don't starch it because otherwise it will skew the cuts. Now if I'm cutting something off of yardage or off of bolt, then I will definitely starch it then. But if it's a pre-cut, I do not usually starch those unless it's in really bad shape, because I don't want to skew the cuts in any way. Because starching your fabric can shrink it a little bit, because it kind of holds the weave together a little bit tighter. So it can skew your cuts off a little bit. So that's why it's always best to starch before you cut and not to starch any pre-cuts. Same thing with machine washing. Some people say you should wash ahead of time. Some people say no. I will tell you this, that with pre-cuts, do not pre-wash them. You will throw them off completely. You will just totally ruin them. So do not pre-wash pre-cuts. Do not wash pre-cut. I can't talk. The yardage, that becomes a personal preference, because you obviously are buying way more yardage than you actually need. At least that's the rule anyway. So that's up to you if you want to wash it and iron it up yourself. I personally don't. I don't usually wash any of my fabrics before I use them, because I want everything to kind of shrink at the same time. Once everything is quilted up and put together, I like that little bit of a pucker effect on all of my quilts, so I let everything kind of shrink up together on its own, so that it gives it that texture. If you're not into that and you prefer not to do that, obviously you can do things your own way. Good morning, Mona. Hello, how are you? Happy Sunday morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. You missed a bunch of crazy stuff that happened first thing this morning, because it has been a hell in a handbasket kind of day. It has been a day today. Oh, Lord. And I am still laughing about it because it's funny. Because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen on this channel. That is for darn sure. I joke all the time that if it weren't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any at all. Lots of fun. Some audio issues and some timer issues, and I pull out the wrong project. It's just been a hell of a day. Hell of a morning so far. I can only imagine what the rest of the day is going to bring for me. And if you're just joining us, make sure you go back later and watch the replay. I introduced some new friends to the channel up here. As you guys are probably aware, my husband, I call him Mr. Wizard. He builds model cars, 1/25th scale mostly. And so I thought I'd bring in a couple of them to show off to you because they're gorgeous. He does a fantastic job, does an amazing job. I don't give him enough credit. So I thought I'd bring a couple of them on the channel today and show them off to you. Looks like thimbles are doing pretty good here. Well, no, I take that back. Everybody seems to be losing their thimbles. And Mona, I did check the preferences that you mentioned last week about the heist game. I did check those. Some interesting stuff going on there, so I made some adjustments this morning before Lucas got in. So I'll chat with him about those later, but thanks for pointing those out to me. But I still can't find that one message. It is buried somewhere, and I keep meaning to send an email to Streamlabs, and I just keep forgetting. So the message comes in after the heist game has started and other people join. That message, there's one about a treasure hunt, and for some reason, it's not in the list of messages for me to change. It's just not there, so it's really weird. It's weird. It's like the one that's missing. It's weird. What do you guys think of today's music? It's a different channel today. It's a little bit more emo, a little more techno. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but it's definitely high beat, which is what I was looking for. I like something that's a little bit high energy, you know, kind of keeps us moving. What do you guys think? Yes? No? Maybe? Can't remember what we had last week? That's okay. That is perfectly okay. We're almost done here, guys, with ironing up, and then we're going to get to sewing these pieces together. What has everybody been working on? I mean, like I said, I've been struggling with the weather lately, so I really haven't been working on anything. But you guys know, music is nice. Thanks, Terry. You guys know I'm more of a weekend warrior anyway. I do a lot of stuff on the weekends. I don't do a whole lot during the week. Oh, speaking of weekends, for those of you who won the giveaways a couple weeks back, the giveaways and redeemed your thimbles, those have all been mailed out. They were mailed out on Friday of this week, I think. Thursday or Friday this week. So you should see those early next week. So congratulations again to all of our winners. Those are all in the mail. Yes, Terry, yes, it's a beats and it's bopping and it keeps you awake. That's what I like. I like something that's high energy, you know, keeps everybody kind of moving around. Even if we're all sitting, we can bounce around in our chairs, right? Too funny that I had no audio this morning, though. Leave it to me. Terry says she's made a wallet, but she thinks she's going to make another one. She's trying to perfect it. Ooh, that sounds like fun, Terry. Mona says I changed mine to shopping for fabric. There you go. Alright. Almost done, guys. We got about 5 more to go. Ooh, Agnes says she's working on a colorful quilt made with batiks. Agnes, I'd love to see pictures of that if you're a member of our Facebook group. I love colorful quilts and I love batiks, so that is right up my alley. What type of a pattern are you using, for that? Is it just squares or layer cakes, or what you doing? What you doing, girl? Yeah, you guys know me. I love quilt. I love colorful quilts, and I love batik fabrics. Those are my favorites. Judy says she's working on a biolage quilt. Ooh, that sounds like fun, Judy. What colors are you choosing for that? That biolage, that's where it like goes from like light to dark, right? Isn't that what happens? Remind me again. Are you just doing that in squares, or is the fabric actually biolage and that's what you're using? Yeah, I love batik fabrics. They're one of my favorites. I do not use them enough on the channel. I really don't. I need to be using them more. I've got a bunch of pre-cuts of different batik fabrics, and I just need to use them more. I know what biolage means with regards to hair. I'm pretty sure it's like when you go from like a dark color to a light color, or I'm sorry, a light color to a dark color. I think that's what it means with regards to hair, but I'm not sure what that means with regards to a quilt. I'd love to see that, Judy. If you're a member of our Facebook group or even a member of our Instagram, you can tag us on the Instagram as well. We'd love to see pictures of that. Facebook is really the only place, Facebook and Instagram are where I get to see what you guys are working on. I mean, you guys get to see what I'm working on YouTube every week, but I love seeing what you guys are working on because you really keep me inspired, and I love seeing that. It's one of my favorite parts about the channel is being able to share those projects with you guys. I wish that we could all just be on this channel and showing everybody what we're doing, but it doesn't really work that way. Judy says she'll post pictures when she's done. Yeah, absolutely, Judy. We'd love to see them. I'm really excited about that. And if you can include the name of the pattern in your description as well, that would help too. That way other members of the group can maybe check out the pattern too. Even if it is a pattern that you've purchased, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like a bargello. Okay. We've made bargellos a couple times on this channel. Yeah, I've got a couple of videos of bargellos on this channel. In fact, I have one right here. The top is already done. We just need to put it together and quilt it. It's another one of my whips. Alright. Alright, so that was the last of the ironing, thank goodness. Let me just grab this one. There we go. So we've got them all ironed up. Oh, bargello. Okay. Bargellos are beautiful to look at, but I struggle with putting them together because I don't have anywhere to really lay them out. It's a free pattern by Donna Jordan. Okay, yeah, I've done a couple of her bargello patterns, so yeah, I'm totally familiar with that. In fact, that is what this table runner down here is. It's a bargello that was a free pattern by Donna Jordan. Huge fan of Donna Jordan. I love her free patterns. She does an amazing job. They're super easy to do, and I love the fact that she has tutorials to go along with them. Really makes it easy to make them. Yeah, in fact, I think I have a couple of videos on my channel. If you check the channel, there's a couple of videos in there for the bargello, the free bargello by Donna Jordan. So yeah, check those out for sure. Alright, so we are done ironing now. For now. So now we're going to go ahead and attach these up together. Now let me just peek at my pattern real quick. Okay, so it seems that the smaller side goes on the inside. So the smaller side's on the left. Okay, so let me grab these. And I think they're all pretty much facing the same direction. So I'm going to actually flip them. This, and then we're going to start attaching it. Okay, move this over here. All right, so we're going to be attaching the small triangle pieces. So this is one of our blocks. the half square triangle on this side and then a strip on the other side. A 2-piece strip on the other side. So we're going to be attaching the small triangles to these hourglass pieces, which are the ones I was just ironing off. These are hourglass pieces. So we're going to be attaching those together. We are going to be making sure that the small triangle piece attaches to the top of the hourglass. So I'm just going to go ahead and run these all through the machine, one right after the other, in a chain piece fashion. I'm going to flip out my presser foot from my 1/4 inch guided foot. I use a guided presser foot when I'm doing chain piecing, that way I can just kind of move along with it. I've been looking at one of those magnetic things. You guys know what I'm talking about. I know Becca had one on her machine, the magnetic thing that sits here. See, the problem is my faceplate is not all magnetic, so that thing really wouldn't work too well. So yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with something else. But for right now, I'm using my guided presser foot. Let me get like I said, my daughter's been here, so things are a little moved around. Good morning, Gladys. How are you? Hello, welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday morning to you. It's so good to see you. Thank you for joining us. There we go. So we're just going to chain piece these up one right after the other. Alright, so one of these on the bottom, one of these on the top. Judy says she has one that screws into the needle part that might work for you. Oh. Into the needle plate. That might work too. Yeah, I might have to look into that, Judy. If you have a link to that or something that you wouldn't mind sharing on our Facebook group, I'd love to see that. I'm always looking for new tips and tricks and tools, not just for myself, but to share with you guys on the channel as well. So yeah, if you can find a link to one, either on Amazon or wherever you purchased it from, that would be great. Share it with the group. We'd love to see it. Gladys says she's good to it. Her allergies are acting up. Yeah, Gladys, I understand that. I was talking earlier today, earlier in the channel, about some horrible storms we've had roll in recently this week. And they have a tendency to kick up a bunch of crap in the air, which usually bothers my allergies as well. So I feel for you. I understand. Which is why I try to stay indoors. Plus the heat. I don't know what it is about the heat, but it really makes it hard for me to breathe. I have asthma, so I'm sure that has something to do with it. The humidity, and so I usually stay indoors when it gets too hot and humid out. There's plenty to keep me busy. So it's been hot and humid in Texas. Isn't it always hot and humid in Texas? Oh, hot and dry in Texas. Well, I mean, yeah, still, I think it's kind of always that way, isn't it? Wow, look at you, Shirley. 22,000 thimbles already. Congratulations on that. That's exciting. You can trade those in for a prize. She says yes. Yes, it's always hot and humid. It's always hot and dry in Texas, yes. I have been to Texas once before. I was only there for a couple of days, so I didn't get to experience a lot of it. Although we did we went into Dallas. That's where we were staying. But we did get to go to I don't remember the name of the town now. It's where the steers are. The big longhorn cattle. It's where they do the cattle run. I can't remember the name of it at the moment. I'm sure you know, Gladys. But yeah, we stayed in Dallas. We were only there for about 3 days. We drove in for a concert. We stayed with a family member. I know, we drove all the way down to Texas for a concert. We're silly like that. But then we got to drive into Dallas for the day. We drove around there, and then we also drove into, I want to say San Jose, but I don't think that's right. But it's where the cattle are. Not sure. You're in Canada, not sure you qualify, but having fun. Oh yeah, sure thing, Shirley. Yeah, you qualify. Yeah. I would send it to you. Fort Worth, thank you. Yes, I knew you'd know what it was. I know it was 2 names, I just couldn't remember what it was. It was hotter than Hades that day too. Oh my gosh, it was so hot. We were there in August. It was awful. Don't ever go to Texas in August. I'm telling you, it was awful. It's like 117 degrees. It was just awful. But we had a good time though. It was a good time. Like I said, we drove in. It was an extended weekend. It was a 4-day weekend for us. We drove in for a concert down there. A friend of mine has family that live down there, so we stayed with them. Beautiful house they live in. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. Better than any 5-star hotel, I gotta tell you. Absolutely gorgeous home. Isn't that the gas station down there? Isn't that a Buc-ee's? Isn't that what that is down there? I know there's some famous gas station down there we had to stop at. We stopped there. And then there was also some burger place. I don't think it was an In-N-Out. I think it was something else. I don't remember the name of it at the moment either. It was quite a few years ago that we went down there. We went there one day for dinner. And then we also got to go to the Gas Monkey Bar and Grill. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. They had their own channel on the Discovery Channel, Gas Monkey Garage. So I'm a huge fan of theirs. It's a car thing, you know. So I watched their show for a while. I don't so much anymore, but I used to. Fast and Loud, I think it's called. The channel, the name of the show, Discovery. Richard Rowling owns a restaurant down there in Dallas called the Gas Monkey Bar and Grill. We went and saw that. It's pretty cool. My daughter Taylor, the one whose bedroom this is, you guys know she moved to be closer to school. She used to work for a restaurant. It's not quite fast food, but close enough to it. Restaurant right here in town that actually is the only location in Illinois. They have 9 locations, but this is the only location that's outside of Texas. All of their other locations are in Texas. While we were down there, we tried to get to one of the locations, but the closest one to us was in Houston, and that was still, quite a ways away from Dallas, so we weren't going to be able to make it. But yeah, so if you're in the Houston area, you should go check them out. They were a lot of fun. Really good food. Really good food. Texas-sized portions, too. Massive. Good morning, Deb. Thank you so much for joining us. It's so good to see you again. Welcome back to the channel. So happy you're here. We are working on our Tropics project. We're getting ready to start putting blocks together here. I've got them about halfway done. So each block is made up of 2, I don't know why I did that, but 2 hourglass and 2 of these other pieces. I don't know what you call these. It's made up of two, you know, opposite corners. So we're putting them halfway together, and then we'll put them the whole way together later. So I'm just kind of chain piecing them up right now. Make sure you go back and check out the replay this morning. You know, you can see how I had audio issues and we were all laughing about it. And then you also get to see some of Mr. Wizard's cars that I brought on the channel as a little show and tell. They're sitting up here in the cabinet right here. Got this one and that one, and you can just barely see the front end of the other one over there. There's 3 of them up there. My camera is a little off today. It's a little bit on an angle. It got moved. No big deal. I just did notice it this morning. That's all right. Buc-ee's, yes, in Georgia. Amazing truck stop. Yes, Buc-ee's. That's what I thought. That's what the name of it was. Yeah, we stopped at the one in Texas, right in Dallas, or just outside of Dallas. We stopped at that one on our way back because we actually drove down and drove back up. It was a nice. We do a lot of road trips. I do a lot of road trips with the kids, so for us it really wasn't a big deal. We've done road trips with them since they were little kids. So it's a lot of fun. We had a great time. But yeah, so we stopped there to fill up on gas before we headed home. Got to walk around. Actually, I think there might even be a Buc-ee's in Illinois, but I think it's a different Buc-ee's. I think it's spelled differently. Ours is B-U-C-K-Y-S, and then the one you guys have down there is the C-C-E-S-S, which I think is interesting that they have the same name. Georgia. I don't think I've been to Georgia. I might have driven through Georgia, but I don't know that I've been to Georgia yet. One day, I would like to go to Atlanta. I'd like to visit Atlanta one day. La 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 la. For those of you just joining the channel, if you weren't on earlier, I was letting everybody know that next Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, I will be joining Sean on his channel for a live stream. He is Sean of The Guy Who Sews. If you do !Sean in chat, you can go over there and give him a sub. He has a lot of fun over there on his channel. He's doing some amazing stuff. He is working on a Wizard of Oz quilt. That is just so cool. I have been trying to follow it as much as I can. He's been working on that. It's so cool. Really, really cool. I love watching that one come together. And he does these cute little dachshund ones that are really adorable. He did a koala quilt a year or so back. That one was really cool. He does a lot of really fun ones. I do the easy, boring ones. He does the really fun ones. They're a lot more challenging. See, there's that ahoy. I don't know where it's at. Looks like somebody's getting the heist together, though. Make sure if you want to get in, you do !heist, space, and then the number of thimbles you're willing to wager. Just be careful, because you can lose them. It's not a guarantee that you'll win. Although I did increase the odds of winning. I did go on there and fix that. Good luck to you. one of our subscribers, Brenda, had actually started doing this project with me, but unfortunately she made some bad cuts in the initial start, and then she had to do it as a paper piecing, and then she kind of lost track of it. Oh yeah, you can lose, Terry, just like that, for sure, yeah. Yeah. Especially on the slots game. I haven't touched anything with the slots game. I just increased the odds with the heist game. They were a little low, so I increased them a little bit more. But yeah, the slots is there's nothing I can do about that. That one is, you can win really big, but you can also lose too, so just be careful. Kathy and Sandra, are you guys going to be live today? If so, what are you guys going to be working on? Anything fun? Kathy and Sandra are live on Kathy's channel almost every day. It seems like. I'm not sure the exact days. It seems like it's almost every day. They do a fantastic job. It's like a quilt retreat every time you go on. It's so much fun to hang out with them. Been lucky enough to actually be part of their stream a couple times. It's been a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. Next time I get a day off, I'll have to try and weasel my way onto another stream because I have so much fun with them, hanging out. But their streams are long. That's why I say it's like a cool retreat every time because it's like 5, 6, 8 hours long. It's a long time. But they have a lot of fun over there. Sandra's always teaching us something new. She's always posting patterns for stuff on Monday mornings for Monday morning Monday streams that they do. So lots of fun there. I know I've seen Gladys over there a few times. That's been a lot of fun. She's become a regular on the channel, which is a lot of fun. Always fun when you have quite a few going. Sounds like Tony's home. My mother went out of town for a few days, so Tony has been staying at her house. Well, dog sitting and house sitting for her. But Tony said she was going to be home today to do laundry, so it's nice that she's going to come home just to do laundry. You know, my mom has a washer and dryer by her house, but, you know, all the clothes are over here. I think she's only got a few weeks left of summer anyway. She goes back to school pretty early. She goes back on the 9th, so she's only got a couple weeks left. Sandra said she's going to be sewing on her block for her swap blocks today. What time does your stream start, Sandra? Not your stream, but yours and Kathy's. What time does yours and Kathy's stream start? 1 o'clock Central? No, can't be right. 11? 12? 12 o'clock Central? I'm not sure now. Kathy is live Monday through Thursdays from 10 a.m. Pacific till closing, as I call it. Amen. That's for sure. Yeah, she goes until she gets tired. That's basically what happens. Yeah, starts at 10 a.m., goes till she closes. That's for sure. So Monday through Thursday. A smoke haze, Shirley. That's not good. So she's got a smoke haze up there in Canada. They've got a lot of the Canadian wildfires up there, so things are pretty bad. I know it was making its way down here for a while there. It was really hard to breathe for a few days up here, so I can down here. So I can only imagine what it's like by you guys. Only imagine. Alright. I am just chain piecing these along. One right after the other. It took us forever to get to this point. Of course, you know, you guys know that when I do projects on the channel, I literally start from the very beginning with, you know, starching and ironing the fabrics and cutting them up. So That's why our projects take so long. It's because we're literally doing them from start to finish. I don't do anything off camera. Excuse me, or very minimal off camera, I should say. I have the hiccups again. Very minimal off camera. Like, so this morning I did a little bit of ironing, but it really wasn't a whole lot. Sandra says she's not fully attending. She's not attending fully. She's a great granddaughter to keep up with and the live. Oh, no worries, Sandra. I'm sure everyone understands that. Family comes first. That is always my rule. No matter what, family is always first. Come on, come on. There we go. Alright, just moving right along here. This is the easy sewing. Same thing over and over again. Shirley says it's been hazy by her for the last 5 days. Oh gosh, I can't imagine. I know, like I said, we were affected by some of that down here in Chicago, in the Chicagoland area. We were affected by that a few weeks ago. There was that like haze that kind of fell over. It was just the weirdest thing. It was like you felt like your glasses just needed to be cleaned, you know, or like the windshield on your car just needed to be washed. You know, it was just such a weird haze. But you could smell it in the air. You could feel it in your lungs. It was just awful. So I can only imagine what it's like the closer you are to it. It's just, I can't even imagine, actually. I know my asthma was acting up pretty badly around that time too, so it was like constant inhalers, and I was even on a steroid pack for a little while because it was so bad. Last week, my aunt dropped off some peppers to me. Oh my god, they were so good. I have no idea what kind of peppers they were. They're some type of sweet pepper. She had one green bell, and then the rest of them were these like tubular sweet peppers. I don't know what they kind of were. I really need to ask her, but they were so good. Oh god, I love fresh vegetables from a garden. So good. I'm so excited because all my friends grow gardens. We do not. We have dogs, and they just terrorize a garden. So we've given up. But we live vicariously through all of our friends and family. They share with us, and so I absolutely love fresh vegetables from the garden, fruit and vegetables from a garden. Oh god, there's nothing like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. The stores do a great job of trying to give you fresh produce, but there is nothing like it. But yeah, her peppers were amazing. They were so good. We put them in our eggs the other day. Yummy. I put them in everything. They're so good. Can't wait for more. I don't have all of them done. She gave me quite a few, so I don't have them all gone yet, but most of them are done. They were really, really good. Of course, my husband and I really like sweet peppers, so we'll just like slice them in half and just roast them right on the grill and just eat them like that. We don't even like chop them up and mix them in anything. We just eat them like that. They're so good. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, pepper on the inside. Yummy, yummy, yummy. It's like a pepper boat heaven. So yummy. Is anybody else growing a garden? You got any fruits of your labor yet? so I can get one extra. Dawn must have had to take off for something. I didn't see her say goodbye, but she must have, because I see a couple people saying goodbye to her. So, bye, Dawn. Thanks so much for joining us today. What? I do not have a green thumb. Judy, you and me both, hon. I don't either. I mean, I blame it on the dogs, but it's me too. I have a black thumb. I joke that houseplants come to my house. My house is the plant hospice. It's where they come to. I keep them comfortable so they can live out their final days. And that's basically what happens in my house. My mom is a huge green thumb. She is just huge green thumb. Amazing. Her house, her yard is just immaculate. She has all these amazing, pretty flowers and this wonderful garden, and she's just fantastic at it. Me, I'm horrible. Absolutely horrible at it. Alright, so let me go ahead and press these all up. I think I'm going to press them all towards this stripy fabric because it seems like that's a better seam, if you will. So I'm going to get all these going. Uh-oh. We're still live, right? Yeah. YouTube was being dumb there for a second. I'm just gonna finger press these. I'm not gonna hard press them. I'll hard press them once they're all up together. So we're gonna finger press them first, all to one side, and then we're gonna start to put them together. Our final block is a four patch block. So we'll take two of these and flip them opposites and attach them up together. Mona, thank you very much for the shout out. Mona gave the channel a shout out on her channel, so thank you for that. That's very nice of you. We appreciate that. We are so close to 500 subs. We're at 462, I think, right now. So close. If you have any friends or family that are interested in the channel, make sure you give them send them a link, ask them to subscribe. Which pattern is this? This is the Tropics pattern, Terry. I went ahead and I pinned a link to it in chat. Hopefully the link still works. You can also do exclamation point TR pattern in chat. It'll give you a link to it as well. This is called Tropics. It is a cozy quilt designs. It was made with a jelly roll. Thank you. Sorry, couldn't think of that for a moment. We only used about half the jelly roll because we're making the row size, I think. Let me just double check and make sure. What size am I making? I am making yes, I'm making the throw size. So we only used 19 of the strips from the jelly roll. So when we go to do our scraps giveaway, someone is getting almost a half a jelly roll. So that's exciting. Yes, we're getting there. Yeah, we're down to the final pieces here. We do have a border to put on this one. So once we get the blacks together, then we can put the rows together, and then we have a border to put on. So we'll have to do that. But yeah, we're getting closer. Terry says she has hunger setting in. You may lose me for a minute. Oh, no worries, Terry. No worries. Just make sure you bring back enough for the rest of us. No, I'm just kidding. I made eggs this morning for Mr. Wizard and I. I make eggs almost every morning because we love eggs. And like I said, this morning I almost forgot an ingredient. Actually, twice I almost forgot 2 ingredients. Because I usually make them with mushrooms. So I'll slice up some mushrooms, saute those in the pan, and then I'll put the eggs in. Scramble up the eggs with the mushrooms. It gives us a little bit extra protein from the mushrooms. And and he and I both love mushrooms anyway. And then I usually make hash browns with it. We have these like hash brown cakes that I throw in the air fryer for a few minutes. I buy them at Aldi. They're like this. They look like McDonald's hash browns, but they're a little bit bigger. They're more like a Taco Bell hash brown. They're a little bit bigger. But I throw them in the air fryer, and then I slice those up and I put everything into these little tortillas, so we have like breakfast tacos. And usually those, because of the amount of calories that are in those 2 little tacos, and the amount of protein, it usually will last us until late in the afternoon. That amount of food will last us until late in the afternoon. So that's why I do it. That way I'm not worried about, you know, being on the stream, or if it goes late or whatever, I'm not worried about getting hungry. And so this morning I go to make them, and I go in the fridge to grab the, I go in the fridge to grab the ingredients to start cooking. And usually I grab the mushrooms, the eggs, the milk and things like that, and put it all on the counter. And this morning I grabbed the eggs and the milk, and I get back to my little spot on the counter where I'm getting ready to cook everything, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, why do I feel like I'm missing something? There's like, no, there's usually something, because I do this every weekend, so there's something else I grab when I'm in the fridge, and I don't remember what it was, and then it dawned on me, oh yeah, the mushrooms. So I had to grab those. And then I put the hash browns in the air fryer, I make the mushrooms, I make the eggs, I put all the tacos together, I get it all going, I pick up my plate, I go to walk in the living room, and Mr. Wizard looks at me and goes, babe, I think you forgot something. And I go, what? He goes, I think you forgot something. And I'm like, what? And I look down and I go, well, damn it, the hash browns, they're still in the air fryer. I mean, it was on a timer, so it had turned off, they didn't overcook, but it was like, shoot, I forgot the hash browns. So then I had to go back, get the hash browns, cut those up, put those in the tacos. I mean, it's just like I said, today's just been a hell in a handbasket kind of day. I just can't seem to get my crap together today. Gosh, I hope I did this right. Yeah, I did. Derek says, okay, just type your order in chat, Danny, don't hate me. Derek, you're so funny. I'll just take a sandwich on whatever you're making for yourself. I'll just take one of those. It's fine. I'm not really hungry right now, but maybe by the time you come back. Alright, just finger pressing these up. Just kind of lay them somewhat flat so that we can put them up together. I know I mentioned it before, but now that I've been getting my nails done again, this finger pressing thing is a lot easier to do. It really lays much nicer with a little bit of a nail. My natural nails never really grew to a point where they were actually useful for anything, so I used to get my nails done all the time when I was younger, and then I had the kids, and it just became one of those expenses that you really couldn't afford while you were having kids. And so recently, now the kids are not home anymore, and I don't have those expenses, I decided to treat myself and start doing it again. I'm going to get my nails and my toes done. I get my toes done every 6 weeks, I get my nails done every 3. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. I've really enjoyed it. Makes me feel good about myself, and to me that's the most important thing. That's worth every penny. It's important that we take time and spend a little bit of money on ourselves if we have the ability to make ourselves feel good about ourselves. So, a little bit of self-love. But I keep them very, very short because I type all day long at work, so I have to keep them very short. But it works out really well for sewing too when they're short like this. Oh yeah, my fan died. That explains why I got a little warm in here. My plug is not long enough to reach. Apparently the battery on my fan died. It's gonna be a little warm in here. It gets warm in here. This is a small room. It's just a I think it's an 11 by 11 room or 10 by 10. It's not a very big room. And there's only one vent, and it's right here underneath the window. And it's just not very strong. I live in an older house. It was built in the 70s. It's all one level. I'm on a slab, though I don't have a basement. But my heating and air conditioning is in the floor. which everybody seems weirded out by that, because, you know, nowadays they're all on the ceiling. But ours is in the floor, so it has a tendency to get a little bit warmer in rooms, especially rooms where the doors are closed. If the door was open, it's a little bit better because the air kind of circulates throughout the house. But with the door closed, it gets a little warm in here. That's why I usually have a fan going, but apparently the thing died. Almost, guys. Almost. I got about 5 or 6 more here to go. And then we can start sewing these up together. Who knows? We might get all these blocks done today. I always say things like that and it never works out. So I try not to say them anymore to get anybody's hopes up. But we'll see. Go. I'm sure Streamlabs has already reminded you guys, but if not, if you haven't already, please consider going over there and tickling that like button for me. It really, really helps out the channel. It lets YouTube know that you like the channel, and it tells other people that they might like it as well. Our goal is to get to those 500 subs. Right now we're at about 462 right now. We're getting there. Alright, so then we flip this one like that. Right? No. No. I'm gonna go squares. Squares with the triangles. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It looks like I attached these pieces up wrong. Let me see if I've done any of these correctly. So, apparently, I'm supposed to not do triangle to triangle, which is what I think I did on all of these. Yep. So this is what happens when you don't pay attention, guys. I have managed to attach all of these blocks up wrong. Okay. Alright. Here we go. Let me pull out like 4 of these, put it back together, and then at least you guys will get to see what the block looks like. Because this is really annoying. I was supposed to attach up, I'm supposed to turn this pinwheel block. I didn't think I needed to worry about the pinwheel block, but apparently I did. I was so worried about the other block that I wasn't paying attention to the pinwheel block. And so now I've got to pull them all apart. Because, you know, that's the way things go. So the co-host gets to come out. Somebody mentioned that in the last live stream. They called Jack the co-host. He is co-host. Yes, Judy, I am dating your boyfriend, Jack. Yep. Yep. Also referred to as the divorce lawyer. And also referred to as the co-host of this channel. Apparently, he's making an appearance. And he's going to make an appearance in a big way because I have managed to sew all of these blocks up wrong. So I have to pull all of them apart. So I know what I'm going to be doing in front of the TV later. But for now, I'll pull at least 4 apart so you guys can see what the block looks like. And then we'll start pulling the rest of them apart because this is really annoying. Make him pay. Sandra. Oh, you're funny. Yes, he goes by many names. Jack, boyfriend, Jack the divorce lawyer, Jack the co-host of the live stream. Yeah, he's a lot of things. Definitely not somebody we like to see on the channel come out. Alright, so what I did wrong was I needed to flip this one. Like that. So this is what I'll do, is I'll just pull them apart and re-sew them back up together so that I don't throw anything on it for myself. I'll just leave it right on the machine. So annoying, but you know, that's what happens when you do things on the live stream and you're not wholly paying attention to things. Excuse me. It's okay though, we got some really good music to listen to. I'm actually liking this new channel today. This is a new radio channel. I'm kind of liking it. At the beginning of it was a lot of emo, a little techno music, kind of high energy. Seems to have calmed down a little bit. Still pretty good. Plum Crazy. Yep, Plum Crazy. Is that the name of your jacket called Plum Crazy? I'm kind of surprised this one hasn't turned dull yet with as much as I used it. I did have an orange one for a little while, but that one actually went dull on me. I actually had to get rid of that one. I tried to sharpen it, you know, with using the aluminum foil and stuff, tried to sharpen it, but it just, because of where the cutting surface is at, it's just really kind of awkward for me, at least. So I just kind of gave up and said, screw it, I'll just get a new one, because I buy cheap ones anyway. These are actually one of the things that you can get when you trade in your thimbles for a random notion. I do have these specific seam rippers in there, so that's where I just pull one out of when I need to. Yeah, this is gonna be annoying. But you know what? Like I said, this is the omen for the day. It has been a hell in a handbasket kind of day. So, you know, I really can't say this surprises me in the least, really. She uses it like a rolling pin. That's funny. So Terry says, let's call Jack's mother the mother's little helper. Oh, let's call Jack Mother's Little Helper. There you go. Yeah, that's a good one. Mother's Little Helper. That is true. That is very true. Although I don't know how much help he really is. He's more of a last resort. Yeah, the divorce lawyer has always been my favorite saying for him, although recently the co-host has turned into my favorite. The co-host, I think, is hysterical. They're not wrong. Let's go this way because it seems to do a better job. Why are you camped up? Why are you camped up? Weird. Uh-oh. Yeah, I lost my thread. Alright. I lost something. Oh, he helps you out in a bind. I get it, yeah. Gotcha. I got it. I understand now. I just did a no-no. I pulled the thread from the wrong direction, but it was kind of stuck. So I didn't really have much of a choice. Normally, you do not want to pull your thread back this way. You want to pull it through the needle this way. However, it got stuck, and there was nowhere for me to grab it. So I was forced to do something that I don't normally do. Alright, needle is once again threaded. And whenever I thread my needle, I always like to rethread the bobbin. Just, you know, for giggles, I guess. Just to make sure everything is back to where it needs to be. Go. It's very rare that my needle comes unthreaded. It's very rare that happens. That is not something I usually have to deal with. Why are you grabbing Try this again. There we go. There's a seam right there in the corner, and so my machine keeps getting caught on that seam, so I had to go the opposite direction. There we go. There we go. That's funny. Alright. Back to pulling out threads. Oh. This explains that. I had one more piece here. I thought I had an extra. I didn't have an extra. I just didn't sew it right. Alright, so let me make sure I'm doing this right. Okay. This way. There we go. So what I did wrong was I had the hourglass pieces in the wrong place. So the hourglass pieces have squares and half square triangles. No, I needed to match up the small triangle of the big piece with a square of the bottom. And I didn't. I matched it up with the small triangle. So I have to turn this whole piece here. So that's what I did wrong. And so now I get to pull them all apart to fix it. And I will likely pull these all apart because I'm not going to get them all apart by the time the end of our stream is done. So I will likely sit in front of my television screen later today and pull all of these apart. I won't necessarily sew them back together, but I will at least pull them all apart so that we can get them together the right way. When we come back, because otherwise what will happen is if I put these back in the bin like this, when I go back to do it again, I may forget that I was pulling them apart, because you know I do things like that, I forget stuff. So I will pull them all apart now so I don't forget later. Yes, Judy, absolutely. So I'm trying to, that's why I'm only doing one at a time, and that's why I'm going to do this today. I'm going to actually pull everything apart and sew it back up together, because yeah, I agree with you. That is one of the worst things that you can do, is pull it apart and then sew it back together wrong again. And I did that once. I don't know, I don't remember what video it was, but I was struggling to put some pieces together, and I just kept sewing it wrong the whole time. I think I want to say it was the Bargello, but I just kept sewing it together wrong the whole time. I almost had to do it like 4 times. It was so annoying. So annoying. Or the other one that's really annoying is like, you think that you've sewn them all wrong, so you start to pull them all apart, and then you realize that you only actually sewed like a couple of them wrong, and the rest of them were right, but you pulled them apart anyway. That's another one that's annoying. That is definitely another one that's annoying. Alright, so now we turn it once, give it a quarter turn, and sew it back. Looks like somebody's trying to start a heist. If you haven't already, make sure you join in on that exclamation point heist space and then the amount of thimbles you're willing to risk. Be careful because you can lose them. You could lose them all. So I did increase the odds of winning the heist. This morning I was messing with that a little bit. That's one of the other reasons I was late this morning. I was trying to do too many things at one time this morning. Judy says I've done that too. Yep, absolutely. Yep. Next week we're going to be working on whips and UFOs. So if you guys have got any of those, go ahead, get them together, and we can work on them all together. I am going to be working on kind of a mystery project. I can't really tell you guys a whole lot about it because it is actually a gift for a close friend and subscriber of our channel, and it's a very obvious pattern. If I could tell you what it is, then you'd understand why it was so obvious. But this person is a fan of something very specific, and it is that specific thing. So they're going to know right off the bat that it's for them if I say what it is. So I can't really say too much about it. I've been working on it now for, oh gosh, almost probably a year now. I kind of put it away for a little while. It's really intimidating for me because it's going to be kind of technical for me. The pieces are they're big pieces and they're kind of technical, and I have to be really careful about sewing it up together. So I'm a little intimidated by it, and I think that's why I really haven't been working on it. Plus, I've just had so many other projects going. So many. So I've been trying to get back to it a little bit at a time. We're going to be doing whipped UFOs at least once a month on the channel now, so that I can work on it some more. You guys will probably start to see it come together as I keep working on it. We're finishing up our Tropics project here. This one will probably be done in another couple of sessions. As long as I don't sew things up wrong again. If I sew them up correctly, we'll get somewhere. No, we just started the Home Sweet Home, which is a lot of fun. I can't wait to work on that one again. And our t-shirt quilt project. The stabilizing fabric just came in. The fusible interfacing just came in for that one. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough to do both table runners, but we'll have to wait and see. I didn't really measure. Probably should have. So I might have to order another one. But so that came in, so we're going to work on that in a couple of weeks. That will come back on the channel here in the next couple of weeks. I have 2 quilts that I need to send off to the long arm, and then we'll bring those back into the channel when it's time to put the binding on them. That's our Cut and Cuts Piazza and our Mix and Match. They are both sitting on the floor here, in the corner. I don't think you guys can see it yet. It's behind the Thimbles Race information sheet there. Gotta get those over to the long arm, but first I gotta wait for the money to be there in my budget, so I'm kind of putting that one off a little bit because I don't really have it in the budget just yet. Probably be another month. Interesting music. Alright, we're going to make a quarter turn. Sew it back up. There we go. And these are already sewn correctly. These need to get pulled apart. Kind of a boring day today. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when you sew up pieces the wrong way. It is an omen for the day. I'm telling you, today is not a good day for me. Congrats to our winners on the thimble race. Looks like we got a couple of winners there. Heist. Oh, just one winner, Chloe. Congratulations, Chloe. Our moderator, Lucas, is working today. He's probably doing swim lessons today since it is so hot and humid. The best place to be is in the pool. They had a party last night, a pool party last night at the pool, so he was there working at that as well. So they probably didn't get in until late. He will catch up with us when he can. Pulling these threads apart. So annoying. Ugh. So annoying. But you know what? Like I said, I really can't say that I'm surprised. Because with everything that has gone on today, this is just par for the course at this point. It is just par for the course. like this song. It's kind of catchy. Anybody else bumping and grinding, or is that always just me? I like to bop my head a lot. I jam a lot. When I'm in here by myself, I have the radio up really loud and I'm just kind of jamming this up so long. It's a lot of fun. Oh. All right. Sometimes seam ripping can go fast and sometimes it goes super slow. Just depends on if I can catch it or not. Sometimes I can catch the threads and sometimes I just can't get them connect. Hardest part is during the seams. When you're matching up seams together, that's when the stitches get really tight. Alright. Clay says it happens to me all the time. Hi Luann, how are you? We are working on a pattern called Tropics. It's a project we've been working on for a little while. This is part 7 of it. Go watch parts 1 through 6 later on if you want to. By the way, welcome to the channel. I haven't seen you in forever, it seems like. But right now, we were getting ready to put blocks together, and I sewed the blocks up all wrong. So now I am slowly pulling them apart and sewing them back up together. It's kind of how I do things sometimes. It has been one heck of a day. But thanks for joining us on the channel here. It's been forever since I've seen you on the channel. Really appreciate you popping in. Even if it is just to watch me sit here with Jack. It's fine. We were just talking about different names that we call him. We have, you know, obviously Jack the Ripper. We have the divorce lawyer. We have the co-host of the live stream. We have all kinds of names we call him. We do not like it when he comes out to play, but sometimes it is an evil necessity. It says happens to me all the time. Yeah, Chloe, I mean, this is kind of par for the course, although, like I said, today is just a horrible day. I shouldn't say a horrible day. That's very negative. It's not a horrible day. I can't seem to get my stuff together today. It is, as we like to refer to on this channel, it is a hell in a handbasket kind of day. It seems like everything I touch today just goes to hell in a handbasket. It just kind of seems the way it is. Hi Marie, good morning. Yes, I will be on Brecky with the guy who sews on Sean's channel next Saturday. It's really exciting. Yep, if you're not already a member of his channel, make sure you go check him out. I'm really excited. I've been on his show a few times. He's been kind enough to have me on a few times, and I've always had a ton of fun with him. He's so much fun to hang around with. He is so knowledgeable and just so talented. I've learned just an absolute ton from him. So much fun to hang out with. Terry, it has been a challenging day. I am trying to embrace it. This morning, you guys may have seen me. Well, Terry, you may not have been on first thing this morning, but this morning I had some audio issues, and so then I started laughing for a little while, and I said, it's either you laugh or you cry, and I choose to laugh because that's a more positive way to look at things. So, although crying does help too, I'm not saying it doesn't. It absolutely does, but I try to laugh at it as much as I can. Because otherwise, like I said, you'll either laugh or you'll cry, and it was just one thing after another this morning, my goodness. And it was all silly little stuff. None of it was really critical. Nothing of it was, it was all silly little stuff. But it's usually, it's the silly little stuff when it all adds up that really can get to you sometimes, at least. I know that's how it is for me sometimes. That silly little stuff just overwhelms me. Lorraine, what are you working on over there? I have not had a chance to check out your channel in a while. I apologize for that. I have been horrible about keeping up with all my friends' channels. But if you haven't already, make sure you go check him out. He does a lot of really cool things over there. It's a lot of fun on his channel. I don't have a link for his channel set up, unfortunately. You'll just have to kind of search it on YouTube. I will get one set up at some point. If Lucas was here, he'd be able to take care of that for me a lot faster. We'd love to know what you're working on over there. Got some cool music today. I'm really liking this channel. I'm going to keep this channel for a little while. It's fun. We jam out to tunes over here on this channel. Rocking. Having a lot of fun. We play games in chat. Do the heist game, we do the slots games. You guys will win in your thimbles over there. Trade those in for prizes, like one of these. Terry says, I try not to chalk the whole day up to something gone bad. She said, it's just the morning goes awry. I try to. I do try to keep a positive attitude as much as I can. I mean, obviously, we all have our days where we just cannot seem to get that positivity moving. But I try to keep positive as much as I possibly can. That's why I try and laugh. When things go wrong, I just try to laugh. Laugh it off and keep moving. Just keep moving forward. That is my motto. And with these live streams, you just never know what's going to happen because they are live. I mean, there's like a 20-second delay between the time I'm talking and the time you guys are hearing it. But that's about it. that's the biggest piece of it. So there's not a whole lot of time for me to react to things sometimes, so I just kind of have to go with the flow. But you know what? If you guys were sitting here with me and we were hanging out live and in person, it would be the same way. So that's the way I try to treat my live streams, is basically the same way as if you were here in my room with me. If I use some foul language, I try not to, but sometimes it slips out. Something falls over, breaks, or something spills, or it's all part of the game. It's all part of the live stream. It's part of what happens here. Terry says, just did my cotton cuts through 6 blocks and now working on top. I saw on another channel yesterday. That sounds like fun, Terry. If you haven't already, guys, make sure you go check out Terry's channel. So, Terry, I feel like Lucas set up a link for it, maybe. I'm not sure. If you do exclamation point. Yep, reel it back in and reset. Yep, that's what I try to do. I feel like if you do exclamation point Terry, SEWTERIE, it might show up. If not, then I will make sure that we get one, Terry. Terry's recently started her own channel. She's doing a fantastic job over at it. So if you haven't already, go give her a sub. Go head over there, give her a sub. Wave, give her a wave, tell her I sent you. Send her some love. I try and support my content creators as much as I possibly can. There's plenty of room on Facebook or on YouTube for all of us, so there's no need to be competitive about it. I try to do my best to do my live streams when no one else is on the live stream, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes. I still can't believe I sewed all of these wrong. Look at that, Dwayne. You already have 50 thimbles, and you've only been here for a few minutes. You can learn those things quick. You can do exclamation point slots, space, and then the amount of thimbles you want to wager with regards to slots, or you can do a heist game. There's a cooldown period for the heist game. I think it's like 2 or 3 minutes. It's probably still cooling down, so you probably don't want to... Oh, looks like Terry started a heist, so you can probably get in on that too. Good luck to you. The slots is the fastest way to earn thimbles, but it is also the fastest way to lose them as well. So be careful with that. Enter at your own risk. But people have been known to win, you know, 12, 15,000 thimbles in one shot from the slots game. So you can earn them quick that way. Looks like he's checking out some of the prizes that he could win with those thimbles, for sure. They're a lot of fun. Like I said, the random notion, this is actually one of the random notions. It's a thread puller or seam ripper, if you will. A jack. That is one of them. Somebody had asked last week if I could give you a display of them all, and I will do that probably next week. Next week we might skip the cars and we will do a box of goodies instead, if I remember. We'll probably make a note. So this week we decided to do some introduce some model cars that Mr. Wizard, my husband, Mr. Wizard makes. And then next week we'll probably open up our box of goodies and show it up. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you being here. I love having you and Sandra on the channel so much. It's so much fun to have you here. Guys, if you have not already, please go over and consider subscribing to Kathy's channel. If you do exclamation point Kathy in chat, it'll give you a link. She's going to be live here probably pretty soon, probably in the next couple of minutes. She goes live just about the same time that I'm getting ready to end my stream. So she does a fantastic job over there. It is like a quilt retreat every time you go over there. It's so much fun. I love hanging out with those ladies. In fact, I might hang out with you guys a little bit later here because I'm going to have a bunch of stuff to do after the stream is over. We've got about 15 minutes left here on our stream. We go till 12:30 here normally. So that'll be a lot of fun. Bye, Marie. Oh, Kathy was saying bye. I'm sorry. Yes, I prefer this type of seam ripper myself. It's, you know, it's got a like nice chunky handle on it. It's very inexpensive. They're very cheap. I buy, you know, I think it's a 10 pack on Amazon. They're really cheap. Because to me, I use them so much that they go dull on me. They go dull on me quick. So I go through them quite often. So that's why I buy these. And I buy a bunch of them. And then I put them in my box of goodies. My random notions that you guys can win. And you just never know. So what happens is you guys get a random notion. So if you trade in your 10,000 thimbles for a random notion, basically I go into my box of goodies and I just pick one. I just randomly select one of the pieces in there and I throw it in an envelope and I hand it off to you. Sometimes you'll get more than one depending on what the notion is that I grab. Because sometimes the notions are kind of small, so I'll usually give you more than one. But I've got a bunch of stuff in the box that I grabbed. Some of it is, well, most of it is gone now, but there were some things in there from the project boxes that I was getting for a while. I would throw the stuff in there. Most of that is gone now. Now it's just random notions that I receive, that I buy myself in bulk. That I like. They're tools that I prefer myself, that I use myself. So I would like to share those with you guys. So that's how I do it. Kathy says no live, Danny. I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's okay. No problem, Kathy. It's not a big deal. Not a problem. Kathy said she's not doing a live today, which is not a big deal. But she does them Monday through Thursdays normally. So make sure you check her out. She is a lot of fun. She does them during the day, so I'm not usually able to catch them too often because I am at work. But I do try and watch the replays when I can. But like I said, if she does one on a Saturday or Sunday when I'm here in my quilting room, I will pop in and say hi to her. You guys have probably, if you've watched any of my videos, you might see her every once in a while pop on. I'll see her on a video and wave to her. Because you'll see I'm watching her as I'm doing a project. Still can't believe I said all of these wrong. Every single one of them wrong. So annoying. So annoying. But, you know, it is what it is. It's fine. Get over it. Alright. But yes, I know I mentioned it a couple times now, but I will be joining Sean on his channel, this guy who sews. Saturday, 7 a.m. Central Time, 8 a.m. Eastern. For his live stream. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. I love seeing him. I haven't talked to him in forever. I feel like it's going to be just a bunch of us catching up. I feel like the whole thing, the whole hour or two is going to be just us chatting, catching up. Because I haven't talked to him in forever. I think the last time I was on his, I think the last time I actually talked to him, like had a real conversation with him, was like in probably February or March. It's been a while. He popped into the channel a couple of weeks ago. I don't know, like almost a month ago now. And I'm like, we need to get together again. I haven't seen you in forever. And he's like, yeah. And then he sends me an email the next day. He's like, let's do this day. I'm like, works for me. Let's do it. I love hanging out with him. Yes, Terry. Kathy has an amazing community. Yep, an absolutely amazing community. And I love it that some of the people that are in her community have come over to our community. It just makes it so much fun. You guys all make it so much fun, and I love having her. Love having her here. I love hanging out with her, and Sandra, and Gladys, and you. It's a lot of fun. Marie's trying to hug the bot. She must not be having any very good luck with the slot machine, so she's trying to hug the bot. Sometimes that works. Not always, but sometimes. If nothing else, it makes you feel good because you get a hug too. You know, when you give somebody a hug, you get one in return. So. Uh-oh. I think I lost the thread. Yep, I lost the thread. Yes. Alright. My thread came undone again, which is odd. My machine never unthreads, so this is really weird. I feel like something weird is happening here. I wonder if I have bad thread in here or something. Something weird is happening. Something weird. Something weird this way comes. And I know this is not old thread. This is actually fairly new thread. So it's not that. What the heck happened here? No, it's not even threading. The needle's bent. You know what, guys? I think I'm going to change up the needle on this because I'm wondering if that's the problem. Because, you know, sometimes your needles go haywire on you, and it's been a minute since I changed it. Oh, the hug didn't help. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, good. Music is still going. So I'm going to change up my needle real quick, which it's just about the end of the stream anyway, so not a big deal. Yeah, I'm going to change out the needle because I think that's what's happening here. So sometimes when... It's very rare that my machine ever loses thread. Very, very rare. So if it's losing thread, I feel like there's a reason for it. So the needle doesn't look bent, but you just never know. We'll change out the needle just for fun. It takes a minute. Change the needle, change the thread. Gosh, wonder where you've heard that from. Yeah, that's right, you know. I can't imagine. But you know what? It's good advice, you know? It's good advice. Change the needle, change the thread. Gosh, where have I heard that from? I don't know, Terry. It sounds very familiar, though. For those of you who are not paying attention, that is the saying that I have for the heist games. It says, change the needle, change the thread. In fact, you probably can look in the chat right now from the last heist, so you'll see that it's there. Alright. Yes, I've had tough morning. And now, you know, with this happening too, it's like, what else? I'm afraid to ask what else, because it could really be something, you know? Terry says, here I changed the machine also. I could. I mean, I do have another machine. I could change the machine. Although I think that's a bit drastic for me. I think that might be a bit drastic of a change. But I could. Let's try this, though. Let's try changing the needle. What is happening now? Now my threader doesn't go. Okay. You know what? Today has just not been my day. Now the threader's not working. That slides in okay. But the back piece is not coming in. Alright, well, it looks like I might actually have to take the machine apart, because now my threader's not even working. So I'm going to hand thread this. Which I do know how to do, I just am lazy and I usually use the threader. Although I do have needle threaders as another one of the notions in my machine, in my box of goodies. All right, let's try that. Let's see if that works. Let's at least get this one here lopped up, and then we'll see how this works out. It's been a heck of a day. I don't know why my threader's not working. I wonder if I need to take that apart. Carrie says it's a rainy day by her. I think she's over there singing. Playing some music, that's for sure. Let's see. Okay, now we're making noises. Something's not right here. Alright guys, I think I'm going to need to take this machine apart and figure out what's wrong with it. So, it's making a weird noise. I'm not sure what's happened. I think something is bent on the inside. I'm going to have to pull the whole thing apart and figure out what it is. So, either way, it is 12:30 anyway, so normally we end our streams now, so it's probably perfect timing for whatever to go wrong with my machine that's going to go wrong with it. because now I have to take the whole thing apart to figure out what's wrong with it. Hopefully it's just, you know, some fuzzies or something that's stuck in there. Hopefully it's nothing too major. But it's probably time for this machine to be serviced anyway. So if there really is something actually going wrong with it, it's probably the universe's way of telling me I need to bring it in and have it serviced. Because, you know, that's how things work on this channel. Anyway, alright guys, I am going to head out. Like I said, I'm going to try and take this machine apart and figure out what's wrong with it. Hopefully we'll have it all fixed by next week. If not, I do have a backup machine that I can pull out if we really need to. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thanks so much for dealing with me and all my audio issues and now my thread issues. It's been a hell in a handbasket kind of day, and it's not ending. So much going wrong today. So I may just stop everything and go back to bed and maybe take a nap and then wake up, and hopefully that will just reset the day. That's kind of where I'm at right now. That's kind of where I'm thinking I need to go. We'll have to wait and see. I hope your day is 10 times better than mine, because I would not wish this on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. The worst of it is none of it is very big. It's nothing too crazy. It's just a lot of little stuff. But it is what it is. Next week, Saturday, join me on Sean's channel. Do !Sean, that's SEAN in chat. So join him on The Guy Who Sews. Well, I'll be over there at 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be working on just some miscellaneous stuff. I will probably be pulling out the paper piecing butterfly to finish that up. That'll probably be one of the things I'll be working on over there. So I'm excited for that. And then next Sunday is whips and UFOs. We're going to be working on a mystery project that's up there. I can't tell you guys too much about it because it is a gift for somebody else that watches the channel. So it is what it is. Again, I hope your luck is better than mine today. And hopefully I don't break anything else today. At least nothing expensive. I may just decide not to touch anything at all today, because that kind of seems like what's happening. Alright guys, I will talk to you again next week. Don't forget to post stuff in our Facebook group. I love seeing what you guys are working on. Thank you so much to all the contributors this week. I had so much fun seeing what you guys were working on and things like that. So I will see you all again next week. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.